Hello everybody, it's Aiden or Adorier LEGO Studios. Welcome to episode 4 of Building Sorgan and LEGO. So in this episode is actually going to be a lot of progress done, probably the most I've ever done in a building segment that I did for Scarif, and we'll consider, a building segment, kind of. But anyways, I went ahead and worked on 3 main things. The first one being the hut design. I came up with a new design using some flex tubes and some other parts, so I want to get your guys' opinion on that. I'm going to present some ideas about that and how I should go about it, so be sure to stay tuned for that, as well as I did a lot of terrain work actually. I covered about half a base plate, I think, around there. I introduced a new color into the terrain to see how it would work out. I tried experimenting using like different types of plates, wedge plates, tiles, etc, etc, etc. So I need you guys' opinion on that. And then lastly, I worked on the pond design a bit, the crow ponds that the Sorgan villagers use. So I messed around with the color for them and the angle for them, so I need you guys' opinion on that. So basically, this is going to be a very interactive episode, if you want to word it that way. So I'm going to be bringing up a lot of ideas and a lot of different ways I can go about them, so I'm going to get your guys' opinion on that. But it's going to be a bit of a longer episode too, so just be sure to stay tuned throughout the entire thing, as this is going to be like very pivotal in how the manga is going to be, as it's laying the groundwork for everything else. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and get right into the video now. Alright guys, so it is fairly late in the night or earlier in the afternoon, so my voice is off. I apologize, as that is the reason, as it is currently about 1:40 at night. But anyways, inspiration strikes when inspiration strikes. So I was browsing the internet looking for some Lego hut designs, trying to figure out a prototype I could use for Sorgan, and I came across this really cool mock. I don't remember who it's by, but I pulled up the picture. And if you see, I really like the curvature of the walls that they have, as it just looks natural, and it doesn't look too blocky, it just looks natural. And I started looking at it, and if you look at the bottom, it uses a hose piece connected to one of those modified bricks with 2 studs on the side. So I went ahead and I tried it out on my own, and I'm actually really liking how this is coming out. So basically what I ended up doing, I'm not sure if this is exactly how the builder in that photo did this, as I took 3 hose pieces and I used modified bricks with studs on 2 sides, and I just made a circular shape. And then I ended up taking some of these clips. Here, I'll take one of these off so just focus. So I took one of these clips, and then I attached a 1x1 brick with 1 stud on the side, and then I just put them around in a ring. And then what I ended up doing is attaching a 1x6 tile. And if you can see, I've kind of got this started. I'm actually really liking how it's looking. Obviously it won't look as like uniform as this, and it won't just be entirely 1x6 tiles all around. But this is just what I've got started so far, so I figured I'd just show you guys my progress. I'm not sure if this is how it's going to stay throughout the rest of the episode, but just be sure to leave what you guys think about this in the comments. And you may have also noticed I switched it to dark tan, much to probably the delight of many of you, as a lot of you guys disagreed with my choice to make it reddish brown, as you believe it looks dark tan in the show. I honestly still don't know which one it is, but for now I'm just going to go with dark tan. But anyways, let's just get into the next part of the video, whatever that would be. Alright guys, it's been like another hour of building probably, so I figured I'd just update you guys with the progress that I've made on the hut design. So I've tried out a couple of things. First of all, I've tried downsizing the hut. As you can see, there's only 2 of the brown hoses and then 1 of the smaller light gray. That's probably just going to be a door in the end, so that's probably just going to be taken out once this is completed. But anyways, I tried doing 2 separate things. So one thing I did is, if you look back here, I ended up using hinge plates. Instead of just hinge plate, instead of a hinge plate and then a 1x1 brick with 1 stud on the side combo, I just did the hinge plates, and then I ended up stacking more plates on top of them and just varying up the plates instead of just doing straight up 1x6 tiles around, which in my opinion looks so much better. I'm really liking how this is coming out. It just keeps on getting better and better as I keep on trying to improve it. And then moving up to the top, we have the part of the hut where it starts to slope up. If you don't know what that looks like, I'll go ahead and flash a photo of it on your screen right now. But anyways, I tried out 2 separate techniques to do for this. One is using the 1x2 curve slopes, and obviously these would not be the final color. This is just a prototype. It's technically accurate. It's just more of a curve shape towards the top. However, I like this design more, as I get more gradual slope. and it connects better at the top too as well, if you can see. Obviously that would not be dark gray at the top, that would be tan or reddish brown, whichever one I decide. However, I just wanted to do that as a visual point to show that that I could get your guys' opinion on whether I should go up to just that dark tan line right there, or if I should go all the way up to the dark gray line. So be sure to comment that down below. Anyways, yeah, I'll update you when I have something to update you guys on next. Alright guys, so moving into the next part of the segment, I went ahead and I tried doing the pond design that I was talking about. I don't remember if it was the second episode or the third episode, but the ponds that they have in the Sorgan village to I think it's a krill pond that they use to get the krill out of the ground. It doesn't really make sense to me if I'm being entirely honest, but they cut it in almost squares. But if you look, the Sorgan village is circular. So my idea was to use wedge plates and then sort of arrange them like this. Let me just do this real quick. So I'm hoping that this just gives a bit of a general idea of this little arrangement that I had. I showed it in the last episode, but I tore it up. Then I would make it sort of angular using these wedge plates, but still make it be a square. So if you look at it from this direction, this would be a square. However, if you look at it from the overall mock, it would look like it's coming in at an angle. And honestly, I'm not sure how much I like it. I feel like it just looks too uniform, which is a weird thing to say, but the rest of this landscape is kind of random and scattered, as you can tell with this detailing right here. And this has a pattern to it, but this just looks, I don't know. I just don't know how I like it. I'm gonna work on extending the mock out from over here all the way out to over here. That way I just see how it blends in with the rest of the terrain. And then I'll make a decision. And I'm also trying to figure out what color to use for the water. I'm not gonna go for reddish brown. Is that just, I don't know, I just don't like having the reddish brown be the underneath part for the transclear tiles when it's right there in the normal ground detailing. So I'm probably gonna try using dark green or dark brown, maybe even black, because it's really murky water if you look at the show. But anyways, yeah, I'll update you whenever I do next. It's most likely to be extending this out, so I may have a time lapse. But anyways, yeah, let's move on to the next part of the segment. Alright guys, so here's all the work that I got done after that time lapse. Quite a decent amount, and there's some things I want to talk about from this because it's going to be a big decision on the terrain going forward. So I decided to go ahead and incorporate some of the sand green, and to be honest, I actually really do like it in this mock. I like it best when it complements the olive green, as I think that's just a neat transition there. Unfortunately, I don't have much olive green right now, so that's just denoting where I'm going to put another olive green area. So I feel like if I keep olive green and sand green pretty consistent throughout the mock and not make one over dominate the other, I feel like they'll be good accent colors together. So just leave your thoughts on that below. And of course, I need to get more of a variety in sand green and olive green, so I was not planning on using sand green, and I figured I'd just try it out. Now the second thing I want to address is actually the just brown and dark tan. I'm going to need to make this more tiled. I just can't find them right now, so I'm probably not going to be building any more of this until I go ahead and find all of my tiles in brown and dark tan. Because if you see some of the better parts of the mock terrain, like over here has some of the tiles, more tile area over here, like that's just some of the better looking parts, and it looks too rough right now. So I'm gonna have to get some more tiles and try to find those, maybe do a couple of bricklink orders, go to bricks and minifigs. Thirdly, I also added in some grass clusters over here. I don't know if I like it, I don't know if it's really that accurate, but I feel like it breaks up like the monotony. It also gives the terrain more of like an elevation, if that makes sense, because it's only going like 1 or 2 plates off of the base plate in all areas. However, when you add this in, it just gives it a different depth to it. And then lastly, I want to talk about this. I do actually like now looking at it, although I don't know it like overall, so I'm gonna try to wrap this around. Sorry, that's probably didn't make any sense. But I do like the look of how the pawns are looking with the angle effect, so I am going to keep that. However, I still need to figure out what color to use because I really do not like using reddish brown right now, especially considering that I have reddish brown in here. So I'm gonna try using dark brown, dark green, and dark blue to see which one looks the best. So that's probably what I'll be working on next until I get more pieces in olive green and find my tiles. But anyways, yeah, let's just move on into finding out the right color for the wedge plates. Alright guys, so I've went ahead and done everything that I wanted to try with going color wise for the pawns. So let's just run you guys through. So going from the top of your screen all the way down to the bottom, we have dark green, dark brown, dark blue, and black. And then obviously we have the transparent light blue on the right, and then just normal trans clear on the left. So I'll go ahead and give you guys the different angles, that way you guys can figure out what you guys like the best, and then I'll talk about what I like the best. So honestly, I don't really think trans light blue looks good on any of these, except for the dark blue. So that'd be the only one I'd probably consider that for, as I just don't think it mixes well with the dark green whatsoever. Dark brown's okay, same with the black. But the ultimate combination I think I'm going to be going with, because it's also pretty darn accurate, is the dark brown with trans clear. I'd love to go dark brown with trans dark clear, as that'd probably look the best, but that's just so expensive for a mock this size. So maybe if I have some time left over, I can switch it over, but for now, it's probably going to be going with. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this picture. I don't know how clear that is, but as you can look, those ponds are obviously very murky and reflective, so that's why I think it'd be best to have dark brown underneath to like simulate that murkiness of the dirt, and then to have the trans clear on top to symbolize the reflectiveness. And although this is going to be a night scene, I'm going to be shooting it with like red lights and stuff, with most of the lights actually turned off in the room, so I think it'll end up looking decent in the end product. Definitely going to try to go dark trans clear if I can, but it's just so expensive. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and like outline the rest of this ponds, that way I can go ahead and start working on more time lapse. And we'll just see where the rest of this build segment ends up going. So for the last part of the segment, before I head to the outro, I'm going to be talking about these pond design that I ended up going with. I ended up going with the trans clear tile with dark brown plates, in case you already can't tell. So I think this looks pretty darn good actually, as the reddish brown likes to have that. It didn't contrast well with this reddish brown. However, the dark brown definitely does, and also because of that murky look with that reflective like top. So it's probably the most accurate design out of all the ones. Maybe if I use trans dark clear tiles, but yeah, again, as I said before, those are just super expensive. And also I went ahead and did kind of what I said I was going to do with the angle. So I didn't make it a perfect rectangular angle. As you can see, there's like a 3x3 wedge plate jutting out there. And that's honestly what I think is going to look the best, because then it will look close to the show, but also look like it fits the rest of the terrain and the look of this mock. But anyways, let's go ahead and wrap up the video now. Alright guys, so thank you for watching. A bit of a longer episode. I apologize for that, or don't apologize, depending if you liked it or not. So actually I need you guys' opinion on that. There's a lot of opinions you're going to be sharing in this video, so just be sure to leave an opinion on that as well. So leave comments for everything that I proposed, or the ideas that I brought up, as well as we are really close to 1,400 subscribers, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And planning on doing a giveaway soon. I don't know if I'm going to do it at 1,500 or at 2,000 subscribers, but there's going to be one coming soon. And then you can also not miss any of the new episodes of Sorgan, so it's a win-win. So also be sure to like this video if you enjoyed. And anyways, I am at Adorier Studios, and I will see you next time. Bye.